You are a divider. I think you'd be better off if you were dead. The band filter is screaming through tweeter and woofer on my home stereo, pissing my neighbors off to dodge a haircut and my breakfast. Did you think you were cool when it came down to the fast lane divider? That's what you are. A divider. Another white line. Rainwater in the gully twixt a guardrail colored with nicks. A divider. Another white line. Double yellow. The other side. I know your type and what you'll do to your friends, to anyone that will listen and watch. Absorbing the moments, I've seen the getaway, I've seen the reversal and how it burns through the eyes, turning us to dust and ash. In a fever, in a boat, in a stroke of luck, purchased at some general store along a highway, I worked against the grain for a grander purpose. To find them, then love them, to death. But I really don't understand it when the song is over. Part 3, Letting the Bird Go. The Sahu. Here's my request. Bound by sky and ancestors, let us meet in space. Pro forma. A comet streaks past, shaking loose matter and spores. Our tails went with it. Snowblind. Search party rescue with a detached retina, find what the wolves left. There are only wolves and sheep and moon dance. Nurse for the dead, I know your dance like I know the sky. Why I try to sigh and die beyond me is monastic bald prayer rings. Draw my bath a sweet smell, then draw me inside under the water, gazing up at you. Love hands tied around my thick neck, breaking my lips, imparting solid words to surface. Again and again. Count me lucky and I will count you out, and they will count us in. 1, 2, 3. A door swings. Whack, whack. Hard wind prying in, out the window a dog flies by, then an old lady knitting. The sound of dirt on wood. Me, word soft, cellular. Forever working their way back to you. Sometimes I wonder who I am. Often I can't forget. We are a seguing. We are, yes we are. Are we yes? An emeralding midnight drive, a dark green unstrung Spanish guitar solo at a social club, Buena Vista. A mother and son, a consummate tango, a Colombian necktie. Wave to the starving children, Miss Denmark. While watching Miss World, I had an epiphany. Beauty for your beast. Activating your infinity. In an unspecified month during my 5th year, something remarkable happened on the way to the bus stop. I was living on an island in the Pacific Ocean. The sun had not yet risen, and purple hues, along with a warm damp clinging in the air, was everywhere. I'd never walked to the bus stop alone. I'd never been to Kauai before this past week. I'd not seen my mother for 4 years before now. She said to me, "Keep to the path, JB. It will take you straight to the other children waiting." Scared and unsure, I made my way hesitantly. Halfway there, I heard a wave of sound pushing towards me through the tropical forest, a noise I had never heard filed before, and loud as thunder. I froze and thought of racing back, but my stiff legs wouldn't work, and I could barely breathe anyhow. Tremors convulsed and racked my small body. Gagging, I threw up my breakfast. Then, I was down in forfeit. I'd fainted, as the alien force approached me, and the unearthly chorus enveloped everything. Frogs, as far as the eyes and ears could fathom. As I sat up and timidly shook them off of me, I giggled for a second and then wept uncontrollably. There were audible car sounds looming in the distance, so I made my way to the highway as the late sun broke free through the dark green wet canopy with no humor. Along with cars and laughter, there was the distinctly familiar sound of what I thought was popcorn being prepared. Although I was careful not to crush the croaking amphibians on my way to the bus stop, I apparently was the only one that cared enough to, because when I reached my goal with a relieved sigh, it was a massacre as far as my morning sharpened eyes could see. From left to right, and from there to here, I said to the young toothless girl closest to me, "Excuse me, but where are all these frogs going?" With an agitated and knowing tongue clack, she said, "Home, Barney, why don't you join them?" Colored waifs home. Louis Armstrong blows out a song for the orphans. They will sleep tonight. Vishwase than murder. You are an eager travel agent away from meeting your maker. One phone call closer, unaware that it's your game show eyes that will let me get up and over you. Inches from your face, you can smell the salt from my lips and pores. We both will be for hours, days, the love and work of an honest man's will. You'll keep well refrigerated, yet awakening too if I can keep my temper down, and your tolerance high. The mess will be worth cleaning up. I will serve yours, cold and repeatedly. Oriental buffet on the rim of a volcano. Posh art neon print, flickering in front of me. Suspicious oysters. Nightshades. I felt your nightshades a-callin', and perfectly still I remained, reading of dark poems by Mr. Auden. Dust deviled and depression sunken, the workers' souls now maimed. I felt your nightshades a-callin'. The Jimson weed turned me circadian. My breathing went unconstrained, being of dark poems by Mr. Auden. Through his observations I've fallen in a white room restrained. I heard your nightshades a-callin'. Tumbleweeds rolled past as an omen. Aquavitae gone, the drunk now complained, needing of more poems by Mr. Auden. A mandrake's wade root for bottlin', the family portraits get reframed. I knew the nightshades were callin' when I found of the poet Mr. Auden. The crossroads. In a blackening haze of yellow, tornado static, dead heat in air, I met the strangest fellow. He wore a white cap and played a red cello. Would you care for a game of wit and dare? In a blackening haze of yellow, with a raucous laugh far from mellow, and a handshake that bade me beware. I met the strangest fellow. Eyes full of lightning and voice pure bellow. At his side a pregnant, dark, ruby-red mare. In a blackening haze of yellow. I don't play games, I said, with legs of jello. Always the last one to leave the fair. I met the strangest fellow. So I said goodbye before I said hello, not caring for old Scratch nor his flair. In a blackening haze of yellow, I met the strangest fellow. The last of the sworn heels. While listening to pre-beat jazz, damn, the rain still will not fall as we never said should it to their blue sky. In the land of one season, there's hardly a reason you can keep what you think must be my pie. Because the pies are for their parades, where the petals shall surely cascade to dry up just as when they were first ridden. Can't you tell that march from this June as you hand-fill all of your too soons for children that will never be taller for thinking? But it is not in their height or what we claim out of sight, because nothing is left but to raise sheep while conforming. I know that you'll build the best bud float like your handcrafted Lebanese sailboat, though before you there was no one that found the Grail's edge. So as I claim this world that flat, being your sure-footed front doormat, did you know that next door there's an old man that'll fix your shoe's sole but not its tongue for a nickel? Wigging out, sistina. On the way into my job building, I spied a wig by a bush, full of twigs, a fake nail, and ratted all to hell. Stopping, I smoked and prepared. I examined it up close, towing it around. I imagined myself in it, dancing. That's when a security guard intervened for a match. Lighting up, then exhaling, he asked if it was mine. Laughed out loud before stating nothing here was mine. Instantly, I knew whoever wore it slept inside the bush. Looking around before going in, I searched for its match. Finding no one, I went in for what was sure to be hell. Secretary Glib sighs, keeping time to her nails dancing. Seated while flapping mag ads, I knew this would be close. A loudspeaker informs her, "Be sure he's shaved close," carrying as much as her cup, which reads, "Where's mine?" She sends me in with a flick of a hand, no longer dancing. I notice her nail color. It's like the one out by the wig bush. But since I'm at the door, I blow it off to earn my hell. We all have our equal good and evil prizes in life to match. I enter the plush boardroom, praying my suit and tie match. They fucking don't, and in fact they're not even close. Deaf and silent, I read lips that state, "You look like hell." Portfolios and jelly donuts next to a box labeled mine. There's his assistant, all smirks with the 70s porno bush, a fact I now claim from when we went mattress dancing. An earful of cutbacks before I'm fired by Mr. Lap Dancing. Holding my career box, I think, that wasn't a fair match. So I will make my way back out into the world of the wig bush. The wig's gone, as I realize that I've never been so close to remotely understanding their needy love or yet mine. If heaven's a 9 to 5, I should just get comfortable in hell. The secretary emerges to invite me back to her own hell. She claims that there is finger foods and sleep dancing. Hand in hand, we stroll to see if hers is better than mine. It is. There are tons of wigs and heads that don't match. Aghast, I'm resting more knowing mine's not even close, 'cause she's more than a headless wig inside of a wig bush. It's nice to know that her hell's the thing I cannot match. After trying on wigs and square dancing, we become close. A love to call my own, with a great job and her own wig bush. Love spank. I want you to know that no matter what happens, love is forever. So with that now said, put your uniform back on. I need a spanking. My girlfriend laughed. Some die waiting or laugh forgetting. Take good care of yourself when I'm gone. Yes, I know you wished us forever. Better out with love than in with none. I'll keep this dusk and leave you at dawn, because if I don't depart now, I may never. Take good care of yourself when I'm gone. Stay a red queen as I play the blue pawn. When jealous pride was forged to sever, better out with love than in with none. Looking back, I see you leave a light on. 6 years passed by, and so did my fever. You took such care you forgot I was gone. Your poppy itch nods, and your stay lover yawn. Adapted faster than memories should ever, but better out with love than in with none. If getting on with life's a race, you've won. I see your favorite word is still whatever. So take good care of yourself when I'm gone. I'm better outside your love than inside with none. Burn your desert down. Burn the desert down, said boy little, outside the mouth, outside in love, outside ahead, an explosion of colors for none to see. All of this sand moving towards away over things alive and dead. An old man in an El Camino that has just come down the mountain asks, "Are you all alone, master?" I nod and look towards where my father wavered out more than a day ago. "You're not alone, son. Look at all those tarantula holes." Why he thought that funny is why I did not laugh. He had it outside too, and man, I mean bad, the day the desert burnt down. And so the spider spun. 3 dead flies, dried with no eyes, this is my pint of blood. An emaciated cricket, my home is the spigot with an hourglass under my hood. I can spin you a home, a rich fabric's tome, any old day or night. Your 8-legged fear of all you hold dear, afraid of when I may bite. I build with such passion my trendless fashions, but none can share the same space, because I am a spider, God's secret reminder, I'm no man's charity case.
Hey, do you know what that round thing is that? It's like circular. It's what I was using to trace the. Oh wait.
Invisible too. Overcast was the climate, uncolored was the day. She is leaning on the headstones, the markers of memories. The single rose spins nauseously in the month of Shavat, her face is tawny. I'm assuming that she senses my presence, but assumption has not a spine nor a structure. Along with the cemetery breeze is a stowaway, a very interesting intruder. Compelling the lilac, divorcing the snapdragon, the slit of her dress is long, her leg is pulling at the hazel of my eyes, the rough of my tongue on the smooth of her thigh. To make my approach is all that's left, and finishing this over-imagined conversation should help make things right. Here I am now in front of them both, the stone is nameless in the high grass. Her knees can't buckle, and I'm being withheld incommunicado. For her he swam with sharks. I could not wait to see the sea to be broken by her swell, since she does this easily with her salty rhythmic spell. In my mind I reminisce of playing on her shore, sunny days of childhood bliss and tide pools to explore, but now I don't recognize these waters that I'm in, nor the priest sent to baptize beneath its dark white fin. The sun bled well today, was all the sea would say. I was led astray, now beneath her waves I'll stay. Hippie chick under the bleachers. Roach clips and mushrooms. Before we make love, she says, look at all those legs. Mother's Day on Venus. Poisonous gas, crushing atmospheric pressure. Yes, I feel your love. Father's Day in Toledo. A new lawnmower and a box of aftershave. Oh, for fuck's sake, kids. Love. You have no identity, so just go along. Assume their prosperity will let you belong. I loved you for all that I could not be, loyal and honest, but still you won't see. Right from the start, I laid it all out until death do us part and no roundabouts. The way that we differ, personality-wise, is you'll never concur, only bait then despise. I guess that our love was a sitcom to you, a fingerless glove that was never brand new, and what of our son when he sees you parade around in that stupor like you've been betrayed? I'm sorry they hurt you, but the raped can survive. All that we've been through, still you're not alive. I wanted to breathe life, to daylight your fresh bloom, such a well-behaved wife for this tailor's blessed loom. You accepted my past, I equipped you with worth. Your first turned my last, love's gift and its curse. A good book. Old, thick, cracked spine, and no talk of religion. Bring me my slippers. Starving at Tiffany's. I will cross my heart and hope to die while stuck in my past obsessing, but I will not be your catcher in the rye. You taught me to read and then how to lie as I watched our love undressing. I will cross my heart and hope to die. You made me swear that I would not cry. I can look that unkept while suppressing, but I will not be your catcher in the rye. When I broke down, you still asked why, though I was torching photos, digressing. I will cross my heart and hope to die. With tickets in hand, you said, let's fly. You make me feel that I'm worth caressing, but I will not be your catcher in the rye. Love was a trinket they taught you to buy. When you claimed my needs depressing, I will cross my heart and hope to die, but I will not be your catcher in the rye. The first time in forever. Knowing what you cannot do is a writer's second best gift, dedicated to Josephine Jacobson and everyone I've loved in poets. I couldn't wait to get there, my palms moist and heart rate up, face flushed ruddy. Those around could sense my eagerness so much so it elated them along with me. The train arrived with steam and noise, laughter, children, and punctual adults leading, following. A clock spins, but my bags are light extensions. Fresh stick of gum in my walk, I talk to myself without a care. Employing a carrier to carry me there, he does with third-rate conversation. I, however, am amused and attentive because I'm almost to you now. I'm this close from smelling your hair and everything about your curvings and the way you correct me and brush it all away. You bring me in and let me out with a convergence divine. When I arrived and inquired as to your absence, with a smile, dry eyes, and plastic-covered furniture, they kindly said with a sigh why you had died dead. Then, surprisingly, your mother took my coat and bags and led me upstairs to your room, everything perfectly still and unmoved. Pictures, energy, doodles, and dried flowers. I sat on your bed and I laid back to sleep for the first time in forever. The cot. This good life was my birth, school, work, child, love, home, death, mummification. Pinger. The lost fold of skin between one's soul and what they thought was a promise. In truth, you are untouchable. In heart, you are God. Junos Peacock. I woke up today and I looked for you. I stumbled blinded by the sun out into the garden. I spoke nothing, I had less, I knew only that you had left something painfully wrong in my head, a beautiful imperfection, a mosaic of tiny infinite heavens, an epic tragedy. Where and when I find you will be entirely up to me, and this time, it's personal. And that, people, was Junos Peacock.